up there, you smelling bitches' coochies. Y'all, people were lifting their legs up to get their coochies. With the Baddie Olympics airing and multiple girls coming forward explaining what they went through, I feel that it's super necessary for me to share my story and my experience and everything that I went through. So this is gonna be from the audition process and all the way to the end. I'm from Columbia, South Carolina, the same place as Big Lex. So I knew who she was. I was familiar with who she was. And I did see her on Jocelyn's Cabaret. When I seen that she was doing auditions for a Big Lex Baddie collection, I'm like, oh, this sounds like my cup of tea. So I sent in my audition tape a few days before the auditions closed. I ended up getting an email letting me know that I made it to the second round. The second round of auditions was IG Live. I did my IG Live with her. She said that she wanted me in Miami, so I felt like I had it. I was super excited to be on the show. She made it seem like it was about boss bitches coming together, and I knew that I would be going to compete for 10K. She said we was gonna be going out, turning up in Miami, this, that, this, and that. I waited and waited and waited and waited, and they ended up saying that they were gonna post the girls that made it. I ended up getting a phone call from Big Lex Production as soon as they posted that all the girls that made it, which I knew I was gonna be one of them. And the girl told me that they needed us to be in Miami in about 7 days, or I think it was 5 days, but it was like a week away. I didn't get my flight information to go to Miami literally like the night before. When I first got there, I think the first girl that I met was Luz. We ended up getting picked up from the airport together. We ended up getting to the house, still haven't met Big Lex yet, but the production is there and some of security. I don't know, these bitches like, what's what? So I'm just filling everything out. I'm thinking it's a competition. I don't want to make friends. I'm here to win. And they don't give us an introduction. We just sitting in the living room. Everybody's mingling. We sitting in the kitchen. People talking about taking shots, whatever. This is the first night. So I did not drink, because I'm thinking like a hoe might try to do something, catch me off guard, whatever. This was right up my alley, so I thought. And she's going around, she's asking all of us our names, and I guess that's when all of y'all see like the introductions and whatever. So cool, boom. Then she ended up saying like, okay, y'all go find your rooms. So I run, and matter of fact, I think I had already left. I had left to go to the bathroom, and I had already seen the rooms, and none of the other girls had seen the rooms yet. So I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get this room right here. It was the first room. It had a little slide door. It had a bathroom in there. So I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm about to get this room. I didn't think we was gonna be sharing rooms until I seen like the double beds. So I'm in the room or whatever already. In the very first room, before you go down the hall, all the other girls run down the hall. So I'm like, oh yeah, I'm glad they did. Cause bitches was grouped up 3 to 2 beds and sleeping on air mattresses, and I ain't have to do none of that. A bunch of fights that had happened. Bitches is doing the most for camera time. And then when cameras go off, you seeing a whole different side of them. My thing is, y'all aren't seeing everything because for one, we wasn't mic'd up. A lot of conversations are left out. And then 2, they only showed certain things. We did go to the club with Lex or whatever, and that was cool, but they literally had us in the club filming for hours and hours, and they used none of that footage. Get back in the van. At this point, I'm not close with nobody in the house. I'm not clicked up with no bitches in the house. Even all the fights that had happened, like, when we got back to the house, everything pretty much simmered down. Like, nobody was doing too much. Cameras go off, they go home, and you know, whatever. Next morning, I'm in the kitchen, and one of the security guys was like, I see you been kind of quiet. And I'm like, well, yeah, this is the second day before any other challenges that morning. And I'm like, yeah, you know, like, I'm just peeping the vibe out or whatever. I know this is a competition.
He was like, well, yeah, you know, you gotta do something to stand out.
Like, what do you mean? Like, insinuating that I should either fight somebody or something to get camera time. Because Y'all not about to tell me how to go about this shit. I'm doing this shit my way. Oh, who was Keasia? We don't even know her. She was quiet the whole show. Bitch, I'm far from quiet. Be having nothing to say that's like just to have something to say. Been over and show my coochie like bitches. Anyway, so that's not even the icing on top of the cake. So we're getting ready for the challenge. And production comes around and tells us, we need y'all in athletic wear for the challenge. Like this about to be like, you know, something physical. So I go put on like a workout. Granted, we're competing for money. So me and all the girls, we put on athletic wear. That's when y'all see the scene of Lex saying that none of us look like bad bitches. After that whole little speech in front of them cameras, I'm like, this rubbing me the wrong way. I'm already seeing like the vibe and the other girls and everything that's going on. So I'm like, all right. So we go change for the bull riding challenge. Another one of the security guards came in and was like, you gonna have to show more and do more if you saying you wanna be he was saying like, you know how Lex is, if you saying you wanna be a bad bitch, then da-da-da-da-da-da. So basically, you know, they basically went around and told girls like to be sexier. On lingerie, they have on stripper outfits, they have on basically nothing. We get to the challenge or whatever, and y'all, like I said, we are not mic'd up, so a lot of things is left out. Everybody in there felt like the bull riding challenge was rigged for the ferret to win. Everybody felt like that. At the challenge, we all talking like, you know, like this shit is rigged. Like we just thought it was some bullshit. And if that's the case, people really thought, you know, they were coming to compete for 10K. So of course we were pissed. After I seen that it was kind of rigged for the little hoe to win, I was just like, okay, I don't think I want to do this. Then I will fucking leave. Like, it's a different thing between girls having fun and they twerking and they drinking on their own. And it's another thing when you got grown men coming around saying, oh, you should do this or you should do that to get camera time. And like, I don't like that. It rubbed me the wrong way. That's not even the part that made me want to go home. We get back to the house and me and the other girls talking, all of us are mad because we felt like the challenge was rigged. So we got back to the house and a lot of the other girls, well, everybody, we just chilling. Like, we just chilling. We know we're gonna be in the house for the rest of the night after the challenge. We tired from the challenge and just whatever. We get back and a dude in production comes around and says, we're having a pool party, clothes are optional. Then somebody else comes around, another man comes around and say, you might as well not even wear no clothes. Like, at that point, it was just like, no. Then it was like, okay, we about to have a twerk contest. And y'all seen the twerk contest and what females was doing. So when I went out there and I seen that, I'm like, all of this, like, all of these little things is making me uncomfortable. They got the camera all in between bitches crack and then coochie and I just felt real exploited. I'm not doing anything I don't want to do. I'm not doing anything because the nigga said so. I will go home. When the twerk contest is going on, they're like, oh, where's Keasia? Where's Keasia? Keasia was in her room. Keasia was in her room booking her hotel. I was on the phone with my mama actually, telling her because we couldn't really be on our phones. So I was on the phone with my mama telling her everything that had happened and telling her that I was about to leave. And I was booking my hotel, I was booking my Uber or whatever. I ended up getting one of the security guards while I'm packing my stuff. I'm in my room packing my stuff. So they told the girls to have a twerk contest and they had Lex go back there and check their rooms while they were shaking ass. Just so a bitch could say, oh, y'all shaking ass, but y'all room dirty. And whole time, bitch, she didn't even come in my room because my door was locked and it was never dirty because I don't play that dirty shit. I'm like, can y'all go get the Lex? Because I want to have a conversation with her. I think she said she can get the fuck out. So I was like, oh, okay, because I was getting the fuck out anyway. You get what I'm saying? I was just about to tell you like a real bitch would, that I don't like what's going on and this is why I'm leaving. Especially if I'm feeling like I'm being pressured to do shit that I don't want to fucking do. I was crying was more so because of everything that was going on in my personal life at that time. On top of it got overwhelming for me. And like I said, my period was on, so I cried by the sandwich. When my period on, and if somebody got something to say, you could just have something to say because I don't care. But he comes and he's like, well, hold on, while I'm trying to walk outside, because at the time I didn't realize it, but they was setting it up so the cameras could follow me out there for that scene to happen. But whatever, so he like, well, hold on. Then he do finally let me walk out there. And here come motherfucking lights, camera, action. And Lex like, why are you leaving? What happened? And I'm like, explaining to her, you know, everything that y'all seen. And that's where the do you comes in. Interesting. So I'm gonna just continue getting to my story before I really get into the meat and cheese of this shit. So boom, she said, oh, just do you, just do you, just do you. The reason why y'all confused is because they put so much emphasis and time on showing the drama and the fights versus actually showing like storylines. And I feel like maybe if they was like showing an actual storyline, like conversations that people were having and certain things that were going on, y'all would understand the show a little bit more. There wasn't really nothing else going on. I did confessionals and a lot of shit that was never shown. Everybody was still doing what they felt like they needed to do for a storyline and for camera time. They used the footage that they decided to use. Another little story time about how unprofessional production is. Before we get into the Baddie Olympics, it was an event that I didn't go to, the premiere. Ended up saying that they were gonna book flights for me to fly to Miami, and they let me know 2 days before that they decided not to book my flight because I was not properly promoting the show, right? And they said that that was in my contract. I think that somebody's dumb and they didn't read everything that they signed, but nowhere in the contract did it state what type of promotion y'all wanted us to do and how much y'all wanted us to do it. So we ended up going back and forth because I had spent money getting ready for the premiere, like unprofessional. I wasn't pressed to go anyway because it was very much a ratchet event, as y'all seen. Let's get into the Baddie Olympics. I ain't cutting bitches no slack in this video. It's like, no, this is your event. You had females come out to compete in the Baddie Olympics. They had to do a twerk contest to get in. You had sway men orchestrating your challenges or obstacles. You had them doing a Simon Says. They had to either show their ass or bend over or don't y'all, it was very degrading. It was very degrading. Then Huckleberry, being as old as she is, you smelling bitches' coochies. Y'all lifting their legs up to get that coochie smell. Then y'all had the girls do a roasting contest, but you didn't want girls that don't know each other, a roasting contest, but you didn't want a fight to break out. The event went on, from my understanding, way longer than it was supposed to, and there was no food given. See, they wanted y'all to be mad and hungry. They wanted y'all to be mad and hungry so that it can get the results that they want. Any bitch can take shots. Any bitch can show her ass and titties and her coochie. Any bitch can do that. Security judging the Olympics, and to say that this was your event, you weren't even there to orchestrate none of the, I call shit how I see it. It wasn't giving the Baddie Olympics. It wasn't. I was planning on going to the Baddie Olympics, but I was like, do I really want to go somewhere where I'm gonna have to slap a bitch again and not get paid for doing it? Then looking at the event and everything that happened, like that wasn't a place that I would have wanted to be anyway. So the people that was there should have been there. So then, to make things worse, you feel like you're not responsible because you pay these people to do a job. Being a boss ass bitch, and if you saying this your shit, then you need to take responsibility. Security was literally, it was 3 of them. They was manhandling a girl. She was small. She wasn't even no big girl. Like, it was absolutely disgusting. Like, I was disgusted. It was condoning the type of behavior that I seen. None of that makes you a bad bitch. You got bitches up here doing Simon Says, oh, bend over, oh. It was giving weird. Like, it was giving weird. It was giving, and you call the other girls who said they had a bad experience weird and negative. Being a bad bitch is taking full responsibility. Full responsibility. There was no apology given to any of those girls. Everybody tried to save face instead of taking responsibility. But this really got to the depth of everything that happened, as far as why I wanted to go home, why I felt the way that I felt, and why a lot of other girls felt the way that they felt after attending the Baddie Olympics.